This camera has somehow gotten like more zoomed out.
Whoa.
Okay, do you have a controller?
There's one right here.
Is that a PS3? Yeah. Sweet. Goddamn fucking shit. I am fucking games. Oh, neither of us remembered our branding at all.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit.
We had other shit going on. Nobody buys the shirts.
No. No.
If you want to see the brand again, buy it.
Yeah.
Coerce us financially into being suited up.
I'm gonna make a tweet. Probably not gonna be. You have like fucking 90 tabs open on this bitch.
I was watching some video.
Why is this cord so taut? Was it always like that?
I don't know, maybe.
Did that just say games on the screen? I thought I saw the word games.
I saw the word square U, which is the opposite of games. Oh no.
Oh boy, what's this shit?
Modern gaming.
Are we gonna have to switch games? Is this gonna take 2 hours?
I hope not. It's a PS3 game, so it shouldn't be installing the entire thing.
Remember when Metal Gear Solid 4 took like
An hour?
more than that? I remember that shit taking like 4 hours. I think I do remember how, like, I think this might have been one of the few games I actually played that had an install. And I forgot because time.
Shit.
Also, what is this resolution that we're looking at?
We're looking at letterboxed SD. Letterboxed. Standard def.
Is this, what do you think? Is this worth the wait? Looks like 10-20 minutes.
We don't have any backups. We're gonna play some Atari Flashback 7.
Shit.
Is that what we were bringing this down here for, into camera view?
We probably could play this.
That would be pretty silly.
If you want to play some fucking Asteroids or, Adventure. I got, like, I got some distance into Adventure. I have no idea how far, because I've never played it before.
The graphics in that game are really...
Hey man, you understand what's going on. Jalen Harris says, it isn't worth it, but you know what is though? Smash Bros. Jalen, how come you haven't gotten Thomas' fucking money back yet? Until that happens, we don't truly own Smash Bros.
I mean, I guess it does make sense, technically.
I mean, if you don't get the money back, you might as well sell the goddamn game, because you don't even like it. For what it's worth, we have played more Smash, or me and May played a little more. Well, mostly she played a little more. She played some of the hard-ass story mode. Did you call yard work a meme? It is a meme.
A meme that needs to die.
It's literally a meme, like by definition.
Uh, 16%.
Gives me time to make the tweet.
I never asked for this.
Is that a quote from this game by chance?
That is the meme for this game, is I never asked for this.
I see.
Dude, it's funny. Even before the game came out, because it was a line in the trailer of just I never asked for this, when he's talking about how he got augmented and shit, because this game is like one of the best cinematic trailers of all time. And that became a huge meme. People kept memeing, and I'm like, oh, I never asked for this, whatever. Then I played through the game, and I never once heard the line. I'm like, where is this line? Did they just cut it from the game? And it was a dialogue choice I didn't do, because I'm, like, what happens is, right after the accident happens and you get your augmentations, your pilot asks you, like, what do you feel about these Augs? How do you use them in action?
Oh, did we just get a subscriber while we're on a fucking
install
screen?
We need to play these more often.
Thank you, Captain Gestalt, with the tier 1 sub for the 3rd month in a row.
Woo!
What games are y'all looking forward to playing this year? Pretty much just
Devil May
Sekiro.
Cry 5.
Oh yeah, well, obviously he's DMC5. I'm Sekiro all the way. I don't know anything else that's particularly like eye-grabbing coming out this year.
I think Doom Eternal's coming out at the end of this year.
Oh yeah, that'll be sick. We'll actually have new games that we care about to talk about.
I mean, Devil May Cry 5 is in a couple months, in March.
Yeah, so is Sekiro. That will be the true heyday of the IM games.
That's when it's gonna start, because think about it, if we play those games like on a Tuesday and Thursday,
yeah,
we can just go to war about which gameplay style is better.
True. I mean, I don't know how like Sekiro is not really supposed to be much of an RPG or anything. It's more of like a fast action game, I think.
But is it more like a Souls-like action game than a Devil May Cry?
I don't know. I have not looked into it in any way because I don't do that. Probably should. Probably should start like knowing about games or something if I'm gonna do a games channel.
Gotta know about all the hot goss. Gotta know about all this
I put out the tweet.
Alright, I will retweet it.
I framed it like you had to get in here quickly, even though we're watching an install screen right now.
That seems disingenuous.
It's like, get in here right now. It's fucking time.
But yeah, the reason I ever ended up hearing that fucking meme line was because they ask you what you think of your Augs, and of course, because I want to be a machine, I'm like, felt great. It's awesome. They're the best. But if you say they suck, he's like, I never asked for this.
That's funny.
So I'm like, oh, that's where the meme was.
I need some kind of pillow or something. Oh, here we go. I'll put these fucking Haruhi bitches behind my back.
Well, now we're gonna get swatted.
Why? Why would that make us get swatted?
I don't know.
Like my address was written on the pillow when I showed it.
No, anime girls, man. They're gonna send the police after you.
I don't know where I live. Did you lads get anything cool for Christmas?
I got $300 in cash.
That's a way to do it. I'm gonna check how our audio sounds.
What if it's not even on?
I think they can hear us. Nobody has said anything about it. Testing, test. Here, Tom, give me your test of how you sound.
This is how I sound. Talk about Deus Ex, Human Revolution, Director's Cut, best game of 2011 or 2012. I remember which year this game came out.
We sound fine. Our sound is as it should be. For Christmas, I got all kinds of interesting stuff from May's family because I went to her family's, and mostly we got like a lot of appliances and stuff. The coolest thing I got was this sweater. It's just around. It's right there. I don't know if that's the coolest thing I got, but it's probably the most useful. Will you hand me the hoodie right there? You go. I got like just some cool Japanese aesthetic sweater. I don't know if this is visible at all to the fucking people since it's relatively small screen, but yeah. I got a bunch of shots from her as well, so I'm just like her mom was like, what does Conrad want? And I was just like, alcohol or gift cards. That's exactly what I got. And then I got like this little Galaga. Like her dad got me like a miniature Galaga arcade cabinet. I haven't used it yet. It's right over there actually. It takes 4 AA batteries. We also just like jacked a bunch of shit from her dad's house, like this Atari flashback. that had just been like in the basement, and I guess he had never even opened it. He was just like, "Oh yeah, I've like I got it as a gift, and I've never even opened it." And we were like, "Sick."
I gave it to him.
Oh, you gave it to him? That's funny. He made it sound like you got it as a gift from work or something.
No, I gave it to him.
He straight up admitted to not using it at all. He probably didn't remember that it was you who gave it to him.
So some dumb bitch at work gave me this. Thought I'd like it. What an idiot.
CM398 said Tales of Vesperia Remaster and Metal Wolf Chaos, which we were looking forward to.
That is going to be great. Man, imagine if we played that game and the government's still shut down by the time it comes out. That'd be funny.
This game is so fucking edgy. Just look at all the triangles.
Yeah, dude.
There's a lot of shattered glass.
Dude, I'm so bummed that the art style in this game changed so drastically in the sequel. Like,
Yeah.
Isn't it, you know, like, everything is just yellow in this game?
Mm-hmm.
You know? It's like Jesse's worst nightmare.
That's his favorite color, though.
Yeah, but it's
his best dream. It's more like
it's been ruined for him though.
Nah.
Trauma. But yeah, they have all this yellow filtering stuff, and it makes it look cool. And in the second game, they just make it all real. They just take all the yellow out because everyone was complaining about it.
Tech Ion asks, "Are there any videos in progress for the I Am Games YouTube channel right now?" Nope. Not exactly. Not unless you count this.
No more GameCube Forever.
I'm not saying there's no more of anything. I'm just saying that I'm not in the process of making anything right now.
Yeah, we're still we both kind of just, everything grinded to a halt for like a week for Christmas and New Year's.
Yeah.
So we're both kind of getting, I just got back home, like, yesterday.
This title screen is such a lie. Adam Jensen never blows up a Doritos factory in the actual game.
It's true. It's such a shame.
Is Atari still games? Of course. Atari is the original games. If you play Adventure, you're basically like, oh, I'm playing Zelda without combat. Like, it's also got fucking, I mean, it's got classic games like Backgammon. It's got sport games like basketball. Card games like Blackjack.
Card games? The car games like Car?
Yeah. It's got Breakout. There's no car, for what it's worth. That would be hilarious and expected.
Gaming was so innocent back then.
It's got Crystal Castles. Fucking
72%. Oh my god!
Oh shit, we're making progress. You got Centipede and Millipede, which are exactly the same game. Pong. Fucking Pong! You got fucking Pong!
What else do you need?
Nothing.
Sorry guys, I Am Games is cancelled. We are now I Am Pong, because we don't need anything else.
Space Invaders, which is probably the most real-ass game on here. I'm guessing Space Invaders was like late into the Atari, because it seems like way more advanced than most of the other games on it.
Yeah, well I mean it came out in the arcade first. The Atari port was not exactly a one-for-one transition.
Yar's Revenge.
I made Yar's Revenge, Raiders of the Lost Ark,
There's also Frogger.
NDT. What did I do for video gaming? Yar's Revenge is one of the top games of all time. E.T. is the worst game of all time. Know your history. G4. Some weird thing they'd say at the end of that commercial.
That's interesting.
I've seen that so
Hey,
many
we got a
fucking
tier
times.
1 sub from Keyblade.
Someone who watched
Keyblade.
G4 back in the day will that'll tickle their nostalgia and they'll be like, yeah.
He says, a toast to 4 months of niggatry. Disc 1 of Parasite Eve Respliced is finished. I'll post the drive link for the ROM in the Master Race Discord chat if you so wish.
Do it.
Fuck, man, post it in the whole, like, why save it for only the subscribers? Don't you want everybody to play it?
Yeah.
Just post it in the everybody chat, unless you're trying to keep it exclusive.
Unless you're trying to use your ROM hack as a way of getting more people to give us money, in which case I commend your affiliate marketing
That is a good affiliate marketing
strategy.
I don't know how many people would sub to be able to play Parasite Eve.
Parasite Eve's pretty games.
It is. I don't think many people know about it though.
Well, I guess we go.
I do want to play that game though, and it's not super long as RPGs go.
Do you think it would be we could beat it faster than this install screen?
Meme says, "God damn, we're getting subscribers left and right." We got the full screen Azumi when it happens too. It's beautiful.
Sick. That's extreme elements.
Meme says this game is so fucking bigoted. Like, do sex? Are you implying there's only 2 genders? I'll kill you.
My boy Adam knows what's up. He knows the truth. There's only 2. Fight me. Look at that man. That's a guy who definitely upholds the patriarchy. Look at him.
Did you get twisted on New Year's? Not twisted, but we got shit-faced.
Yeah.
Tom was New York City. Hence the lack of games.
Yeah, well, yeah, I was in New York City, and then we went to Virginia, and then we went back to New York City. Then my car keys got lost, and then I spent 8 hours trying to get new car keys, and then I came back. It was a great time. 10 out of 10. We ordered pizza from this place called Benny's. The pizzas were...
I smell Benny's.
Yeah.
Do you wear that meme?
Yeah.
Not good.
But these pizzas were fucking huge.
Wait, is that the same reason I said that on PCP before, or were you on that episode? I made this same meme, but I don't remember what it was in response to.
I mean, I was on the last PCP. That also happened before this happened, so I'd have no reason to say Benny's.
You weren't on the newest one, though.
No, but I'm editing it.
Listening back to the old Digibros Let's Plays is a real trip, like hearing about Ass Wars Sucks while it was still an ongoing thing. Digi's first time smoking weed, ideas for videos that later became real and good. It's like nostalgia for someone else's life. That sounds like a good time. Yeah. I'd watch an Atari is Games vid. Don't think old games are talked about that much. It's just that there's not that much you can say. It's like, how much analytical depth can I fucking wring out of fucking Space Invaders, you know?
It's
hey, if you hide behind the shield and shoot through it, it's a good strategy.
It's like
there you go.
It's like a metaphor for the inevitability of life.
That third sub was We Have Cookie 58, who subscribed with Twitch Prime.
Hell yeah.
Will I get banned if I ask what is games? I am games. Oh my god, are we done?
Yeah, we're going.
Are we installed? Holy shit. We're gonna play a video game.
Deus Ex
on today's stream.
Human Revolution Director's
18
Cut.
minutes deep. That's not so bad for an install.
Could get an SSD.
Could have been worse. Oh shit. It's an Archangel. Why is this television so fucking loud? We still have this on like 1, right?
Probably.
Let me look. Let me get the remote. Oh, it's right there. Yeah. See if it's under the screen. By the way, Tom, you literally did not even mention to us that you had a party here on Christmas.
Yeah, I forgot.
You fucking didn't even say a damn word.
Forgot.
We found out from Ben, and he was like, "Oh, Tom didn't tell you? I just assumed you knew." And I was like, "No."
Nah.
I mean, I told you that you could, basically, but, you must have done a good job cleaning up.
I mean...
There was no sign of it.
I wasn't gonna leave shit everywhere.
Right.
Wasn't gonna leave Ben's piss all over the ground again.
Keyblade says, I've only tested the game on PCS XR, and I'm no tech wizard, so I have no idea how it'll work on anything else. Do you guys got that on the stream PC? Or are you asking if we'll stream Parasite Eve? I mean, it's possible. And we do not have anything on the stream PC currently,
No,
but
it's kind of a pussy computer.
Continue to gather in front of the Capitol. Most are demanding that Congress severely restrict efforts to alter the human body's abilities. This
God, I want robot arms with swords in them so fucking bad, dude.
this game has a lot of intro for a game that like ultimately isn't super linearly story driven. I would actually say that like the structure of this game is super unique because like it has like long fucking cutscenes and like a pretty involving narrative, but like in between major story beats you really are just like running around for like a long stretch of time.
Yeah, I guess the idea is that it's a narratively driven game, but like it gives you the opportunity to solve the problems the game story presents in any way you see fit.
Right.
Which is sick.
I mean, I just remember like I guess it's sort of similar to Mass Effect in that like you just have the opportunity to run around and do whatever the fuck you want for like long stretches of time, and you're not like super pressured to run to the next mission right away or anything.
It's like what's that game? An RPG.
Yeah.
Heard
It's
about
kind
those.
of like an RPG. But most RPGs are more linear in the sense that like you'll have a cutscene that's like maybe 10 minutes long, and then you'll play a game for a while, and then you'll have a cutscene and play a game for a while. This game, it's like you'll have a massive fucking cutscene and then no more for like 3.5 hours, you know?
Depends on what you're doing, I guess. Because like a lot of the
I mean, my approach is always to try to do like absolutely everything before I move forward. You know,
Yeah, I
try to like
100%
collect
of this
every
game.
little trinket and read all the dossiers and all that kind of shit.
it's weird playing this game not on PC and being like, whoa, I didn't know the graphics could look this shit.
I mean, you have the like super special PS3 edition. Did you not play that version?
No, I just bought it for PS3 because it was like $5 and it looked cool.
Oh.
Got it on PC.
Megan, we're still getting biochemical fluctuations across the artificial flow cells.
What a bunch of words that was.
Yeah, this is the part that makes you realize that you're the dummy. You're the dummy of the game. These guys are all the smart people, and you're just like, I'm head of security. I shoot guns. Or if you're like me, you just like crawl through vents a lot. That's how I play this game.
So, are we gonna try to do a no-kill run?
We could try. I've never attempted it before.
I want to know, people in the chat, let us know. Would you rather we do a no-kill run, or an all-kill run, or just like a stealth, like a regular, like whatever the hell
Yeah.
the situation, like no particular attempt at anything. I suspect a no-kill run is not the easiest.
No, it would definitely not be.
And
And it would probably take a long time to reload from checkpoints on a PS3.
I don't remember it being too bad, because I definitely remember dying a lot in this game.
Yeah, but PS3 load times are longer than you remember in this spoiled age we live in now.
Dr. Reed, this is General O'Neill. Dr. Sanchenko was telling me
Actually, wait the fuck up. Why are you guys playing a dialogue-heavy game on stream? I thought this was like one of your biggest no-nos. Well, this is a game that we're already familiar with, so there's not a huge need for us to pay that much attention to all the dialogue and shit.
There's a lot of front-loading of dialogue, but once the game opens up, you kind of...
Yeah, it's really like the opening bit of this game is kind of like preposterously long. But once you actually get into the game, it's not so bad. And I mean, it's mostly, it's not even really that like the actual story is all that interesting or important. It's the world building tidbits and like the aesthetics and everything that makes it cool. This laptop is like overheating right now. What the fuck?
What's it doing?
It's just like getting loud and
Yeah, it does that. It didn't before because I undervolted the CPU and shit, so it wouldn't do that. But I haven't redone that yet, so now when it's plugged in, it's like,
I long for death. For Blubble says, can Mark say eh like an anime girl? And the answer is not unless you pay. I'm not doing free requests anymore. Nor is Mark.
Diane's office. Forgot to leave her a key.
Got a mute foot in the camera.
I don't think you can see it.
You can. Well, maybe you can't make out what it is.
Moved it.
Why is the resolution so low? Because it's a PlayStation 3.
To get around the HDCP built into the PS3 with this Elgato, we have to stream in standard definition.
Is it standard?
It is standard.
Yeah, we have to use a component cord. It's just an inherent part of PS3 streaming.
There's Farida. I bet
You can get an HDCP stripper, which is like a pass-through, but we don't have
First
one.
person vent crawling is so satisfying.
The most satisfying, the biggest cum in video games is going through this one room in Deus Ex Human Revolution where there's a whole army full of guys, robots, and they know that there's a big firefight that's going to come here, so right before you go into this room you get a rocket launcher. And the best thing is just stealthing through the whole room, getting to the elevator on the other side, going down, nobody knowing the whys, or just post, like, Ghost, 5,000 experience. Just gives you, like, a whole level for getting through this whole part without anyone even knowing you're there. And you come everywhere and you gotta wipe your TV down, but it's the best moment ever.
Pretty much the only answer we got to our question of kill or no kill is absolutely kill everyone.
Okay.
We got kill everyone, all kills. Stealth with some cool kills would be the most enjoyable experience. I am vents. Execute Order 66. Excuse me. Execute Order 66. I can't do that good of a Palpatine. Execute Order 66. Kill them all in all caps. Whatever the hell sounds neat.
I would say lethal is actually harder gameplay-wise than stealth.
Do that thing you just... Yeah, I got that impression, because I was playing, like, highly lethal and, like, you know... I mean, it just draws enemies to your
Right.
position.
It's fucking hard. The early game's really hard before you get all the Augs to, like, give yourself more body armor and faster health regen and all this shit.
Use my elevator to get down there. Another code? Yeah, 0451. Let me know when you find. Athena, get someone to shut off that damn racket.
Forgot this opening cutscene.
You forgot to retweet the tweet.
Shit!
I'm
I
gonna
mean,
retweet it
that's
too.
unfortunate.
Since we're actually playing the game now, figure now might be a good time to retweet.
See, that's why I forgot. I just figured, you know.
Yeah, sure.
Shut the fuck up!
Alrighty. We have 49 viewers though, so we're not doing terrible.
I forget what the code was. I didn't hear it because I'm not paying attention to the game.
Ego Raptor said you have to imagine you're eating shit to do the Palpatine voice.
0451.
Execute Order 66. Is that better? Definitely
Maybe.
felt like I was eating shit.
I did it a minute.
Jalen Harris is asking, why don't you promote the PCP the way you do I Am Games? I mean, we used to, back when the PCP was new. At some point, like, you can't... Well, I guess I shouldn't say you can't keep flooding advertisements for it. I could, but, like, for the longest time, I've just been advertising, like, a million other things. Like, I usually have something going on, like Digibros or fucking just my After Dark channel or my playlist every YouTube video featuring Digibro. I try to promote that the most because it contains everything. But I assure you that once PCPHQ is established and we start doing shows like with that, the advertising will come hard and heavy. Just like my dick.
Oh, shit.
Just like my dick.
This guy's gonna get fucked up. Oh, fuck.
Oh shit.
Oh, fuck!
I guess he can't get you through this glass.
I guess not.
I remember getting like briefly lost at this moment. I think I didn't realize I had to go through that grate, and I was just like, "What the fuck do I do?" Running around like a fucking idiot for a while.
Where do I go? Trying to figure out what the button.
Whoa! Can you pick up like all boxes?
Once you get the strength augmentation, you pick up like everything. You can pick up refrigerators and kill the people with them.
Dude, that's fucking ill.
Dude, this game is the best game ever made.
Better than Devil May Cry?
Dude, it's up there. It's up there. I love this game.
All right,
more
so
than I love
top
my wife.
So top 5 Tom Oliver's top 5 favorite games. We got Devil May Cry, Doom,
Yeah.
Deus Ex Human Revolution.
Mm-hmm.
Is anything else in the running with these guys? Mass Effect, is that in the running with these guys?
Probably. It's probably up there. It's probably up there. Metal Gear Solid.
Revengeance or just a regular?
Probably Metal Gear Solid 1? 1 or 3. If I was going to pick one from the series. One of those two.
Okay.
Metal
Gear.
Yeah, Metal Gear.
It's interesting to think that you're like into stealth games, because I consider stealth games to be I don't know, you're mostly into like twitchy action catharsis games. I guess
mean,
stealth is cathartic in its own way.
It takes a certain kind of stealth game for me to like really get into it. Like Metal Gear Solid is not a game I would consider that has fun stealth.
Coyote says, "Yo, that man killed 2 guys."
He did, dude. I'm fucking jealous. Oh yeah, that's right. I don't have my fucking Augs yet. I'm trying to go up and stealth kill him, but I can't do it. I forgot. I got all excited.
You should hand me that you just. This is gonna go up on the wall behind us eventually. The big purple tapestry of elephants. This is another Christmas present I got from May.
Well, every time you die, it does go to a loading screen. So.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, and it's not a short one.
Like I said, they're always longer than you remember. Well, I forgot that since I don't have my Augs yet, I can't do the cool stealth kills. So I just fucking ran up behind a guy and he's like, "What the fuck are you doing, bro?"
Phoenix19 says, since the pub crawl hasn't come out in eons, did Cider ever finish his thesis? I don't know, but I literally forgot about the pub crawl because it's been so long since we recorded one.
Dude, me too.
Like, we just kept missing episodes since November because of, like, at first it was because of holiday reasons, and I think we both just, like, forgot. Because I don't even think Cider's, like, hit me up about it anytime recently. What Doom is your favorite Doom, Tom?
This Doom that I'm experiencing right now. I guess
That was fucking. That was a lot.
That was a lot. It was a good nade toss by him.
Yeah. Must have been
I
point
really
fucking
like Brutal Doom a lot, or Project Brutality. I don't know if those count, but in terms of like campaigns, man, can't beat Doom 1. Doom 1's just. I mean, Doom 2 is technically better, but like, I don't know. There's just something about Doom 1's simplicity and how you just gotta run through it.
Here's a question I am not entirely sure I understand. Vindalisi says, "Why do you always change your Twitch name? It's queer and redundant." I assume you mean because we changed it to I Am Games from Digibro vs. Everybody, and Digibro vs. Everybody from Mode All Soul, which I think this is the same
That's
account.
that's how it's done. That's how it's done. 2 headshots.
Yeah. How did it take you so long to accomplish that?
I don't know.
What were you trying to do the last 2 times? Just being
same
too,
thing.
too
I just
careful?
got that much better.
I see.
I just got the headshots.
That looks so fucking ill.
Dude, this
I'm
game
sure
is...
it's like super inaccurate, and that fucking what's his name would complain about it. The Examined Life of Gaming. You ever watch that guy?
Never have.
You'd like him a lot. He's one of Jesse's old friends from the Broken Down Geeks, but
damn.
He's a
Why
game.
did you ever leave the Broken Down Geeks to be the Procrastinators? That game group name sounds so much better.
Well, they didn't never have like a show or anything. They just called themselves that.
Missed fucking opportunity.
But his name is Aiden, and he has his show is that he's mostly into like really old like PC shooters and like mech games and shit, and like he plays a lot of bargain bin games. like just like old fuck bargain bin games. But he basically is the angriest gaming YouTuber, like the most sincerely angry.
He's the angriest gamer you've ever heard.
I would say so. I would say he is legitimately the angriest gamer I've ever heard.
He's the angry Nintendo.
Yeah, said he doesn't play any Nintendo games as far as I know, but
these flashbangs are fucking good.
He's really entertaining, and he's definitely he's like a big time like gun nut, and so like anytime a game gets like anything wrong about like guns and like how the reloading works and stuff, he'll always fucking go on about it.
My dad's like that too. I'm just like, dude, calm down. It's fine. The fact that they're fucking flipping around and dodging bullets is another thing that's not real. So let's calm down.
Yeah, I mean, Aiden's favorite game is Max Payne, so.
God damn, Max Payne's sick. Sometimes headshots just don't work. Hey, yo, fuck. Oh, Jesus Christ.
What the fuck? Okay. Apparently, Japan might ban priests from driving in their robes. So, Japanese Twitter is posting loads of pictures of priests doing awesome martial arts and acrobatics and shit in robes in response. What? Okay, like, what? Why are they even considering banning driving in robes? Is it like... Is it somehow imagined to be, like, exceptionally difficult to do? Is it somehow dangerous? Also, what the hell difficulty are we on?
Normal.
God damn.
The beginning's hard. You have no OGs. And it's hard to aim with a PS3 controller. These guys are bullet sponges unless you hit them in the head.
Being a Doomer is the best Doom experience. You never did answer what your favorite Doom was.
I said Doom 1.
Doom 1?
I said Doom 1. Even though Doom 2 is technically a better game, the simplicity of Doom 1 is kind of nice, and I enjoyed just going through it.
Doom 1 or Brutal Doom?
I mean, Brutal Doom is a mod for just playing Doom, so any Doom WAD will adopt to that. So, in terms of the game itself, Doom 1 is my favorite, but I prefer to play it with Brutal Doom because it's more punchy and juicy and delicious.
Have you ever gotten into, like gotten really deep into Doom mods or anything like that?
I played a bunch before. I played like Russian Overkill and stuff. There's a lot of really fucking sick, insane shit.
Yeah, I have a whole like big ass like V, like as in 4chan V recommendation chart of like 30 Doom mods.
The thing is, like, you can just go forever. Like, they have this thing called the Megawatt generator, and so they just have a thing that every day produces a new megawatt of like 1,000 levels that are just randomly generated.
Whoa!
So you can just play Doom literally forever.
Why wouldn't you?
I don't know why we're playing this fucking gay game. Play Doom.
What if we had a whole channel just dedicated to Doom? Or like,
I mean,
what if our streaming show was just we play different Doom?
I mean, we are Doomers. Doomers on Doom.
Yeah, Doomers on Doom. Oh shit!
That's fucking dumb shit.
Doom for the Doomer. How come they never come after you? Like they clearly see you, right? Like they just don't give a shit.
Yeah, they're gonna get me in the end. You know, that's how it works.
And these characters are all the bosses, right?
Yeah, that's the whole point right now. We're supposed to be building an emotional connection to these guys, which is not working at all.
Kuri Nieru says, "I never asked for this."
Sorry, we're playing this game whether you ask for it or not, bitch! Alright. Where is this guy? Just go back there. What are you doing over there, buddy? God, why is playing shooters with controllers so hard?
Apparently purists don't like Brutal Doom.
I know. There's a whole contingent of people who think it sucks.
Is that what, like, the conceit of your video being called Brutal Doom is better? Like, or feels better? Because you're trying to be like, oh yeah, you know, I see how you guys are, but, like, you gotta understand, Brutal Doom.
I mean, I think it's just if you're playing for like a balanced game, like that's why you want to play Doom. You're not gonna play Brutal Doom because Brutal Doom like makes your guy so fucking OP that like you can blow through the vanilla maps like without any effort.
I should play that then, because I could not even come close to beating Doom. I think I made it to like less than 10 levels in, and I made it to like the first time, and you have to fight like multiple big fucking super mutant guys or whatever.
Yeah, the Barons of Hell. They both
probably
kind of materialize out of like these portals, and you gotta fight them. Oh no! Oh god, no!
Oh shit!
I'm in pain. It hurts. I got thrown through a wall. I don't have robot parts yet. He's fucking me up.
So the conceit here is just that you are the head of security, and you're just a regular guy, but then they literally beat you to within an inch of your life, and then they fucking augment you and make you a Superman.
Exactly, and then you go out to fuck them up because they steal your girlfriend. So this is like Mario, but with robots.
Ugh, she threw goo at him.
Yeah.
Fucking big cum.
Spam the chat with big cum, big green alien cum, big green alien cum.
We still to this day have not fixed our chat emote so that tier 1 is big. I could probably do that right now.
Yeah, don't be a bitch, do it right now.
I have to download them or something. I could probably download them from the shit.
From the App Store. For your iPhone.
I'm
gonna go piss.
You're gonna go piss? This is like a long cutscene or something?
This is the intro cutscene.
Let's see if I can fucking finally fix this goddamn... Here we go, the partner page. Holy goddamn fucking shit. Massive hooters everywhere. I guess I'll rap until Tom gets back. What should I rap?
Rap one of your songs.
One of my songs? I don't know if my songs are long enough. Yo, peep the style and the kids checking for it. The #1 question is how could you ignore it? And drop right back in the cut over basement tracks and rat stats. Got you dropping the sack like rewind that and just roll with the rhythm. Rise from the acid stylistic vision with these non-stop lyrics of life living, not to be forgotten but still unforgiven. I don't actually know how to do this. How to... I don't think I could do it on here actually, because I don't have the 3 different sizes of each emote. Well, still lots of big cum. And in the meantime, there are those who want to talk this and that, so I suppose that it gets to a point where feelings gotta get hurt, get dirty with the people smelling the dirt. What song of mine should I rap? Cop get shot if you pointed the stick at my flock. Give no fuck, cause another sister corrupt. Burn that block, Molotov and a bomb, and you can't suck my cock. Chuck them all to the cop go. No pat there, but the one to the mental the same. Burn that brain that they give you to stay in your lane. Kick that pain, work that game, dance all day. Some to say, hate government shit, hide your wife and hide the jit. About to gonzo what the bitch taught that shit to American Psycho. You lose 40 pounds from the chainsaw lipo. Fuck it, didn't want to have to tuck it. What a right for a freak power bitch. Suck it, got hundreds playing Hunter Rest. Full unsponsored, yes. You'll burn if you test, so come fuck with me. I got kids to feed and I can take your whole goddamn community. What can you do to me when I'm true to me? You got nothing that can test my immunity to consuming me. And I work from the inside, spreading through your blind mind, open up your third eyes. Man, I'm a way better rapper than Mike Shinoda. But when I'm rapping in my speaking voice, I sound like Mike Shinoda. And yeah, yo, the lot to much one step closer. That's a song nobody's even heard yet. Off and on again, we're a phenomenon. Couple rapping vagabonds. Taking what we want until we starve you out like Ramadan. Alright. While Tom's gone, I'll answer one anime question. Did you watch Jeff's video where he said 2018 was the best year for anime? He actually made some decent points about the most genres getting the most amount of decent shows.
Oh god, I leave for 2 seconds. We're talking about anime again.
That was the joke. I was like, Tom's gone. It's post anime. Mods are asleep.
Anime is for gays. Hashtag that.
CM398 says, vaguely remember him saying Armored Core sucked, so he sucks. I'm guessing he's talking about Examine Life of Gaming. That sounds like an opinion he would have because he's a big mech warrior guy. Like, he's much more about, like, realistic... I mean, aside from the fact that he's a big fan of Max Payne and, like, you know, he likes some games like that, but... This is as soon as you finally have full control over your character, this is...
There's tons of great videos of that online. There's like one part where you're in a nightclub and you just kind of dance like that. And it's hilarious.
You should... Wait, do it again. Do it again. What is love?
This is like a mandatory feature. You can't have a game with like great moral choices in a sci-fi setting without a really bad dance animation.
No hurt me no more. What is love?
I gotta go talk to Pritchard and get my implant fixed.
What do you guys think of the next Guilty Gear being more beginner friendly?
I haven't heard about that. I
haven't heard about that
the new
either.
Guilty Gear.
Is Guilty Gear not beginner friendly?
The skill floor in that game to play well is very high.
I guess I would say that Xrd is especially pretty fucking hard. Because, like, my friend got real good with fucking Faust, and, like, you can't even do anything to him when he uses that stupid fucking special where he shoves his fingers up your ass.
Well, the thing is, like, the whole basis, like, I still don't know how to play Guilty Gear. Because what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to use these things called cancels that let you stop a move mid-move and continue chaining and teching your own combos. And that's how you're supposed to play the game. Like, if you use that tension meter to use a special, you're a peasant and gay, and you should die. Because, like, that's not what it's used for.
Mime thinks says, good. Fighting games need to keep experimenting with how to make their games easier to play without losing depth. The more they try, the bigger chance there will be that they'll finally succeed.
We done here?
Yeah, apparently Daisuke said in an interview he's making GG4 less.
I mean, I trust the man. He's got a good track record. You know,
What
Guilty
about
Gear
that?
2 notwithstanding.
I was about to say, what about that weird fucking tactics game or whatever?
Yeah.
If you got a problem with me, Pritchard, why don't you just say it and get it over with?
Why no, Judson? I don't have a problem with you. If anything, I blame myself.
The mighty Pritchard blaming himself.
Has Tom smoked any more dank kush? I don't think so.
I did a bunch actually, going to Virginia.
Oh yeah, you
Yeah.
smoked with your friends? Did you get mega big high?
He got a vape, like one of those vape pens.
Oh shit!
So
What
it's-
did you get mega big high?
No, I got a little high.
Was it good? Were you feeling
It's
it?
kind of weird.
Were you really feeling it?
I actually ended up buying one, so now I have a vape pen.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you have it here
Yeah.
now? Can I
Yeah.
hit that shit right now?
If you want,
I don't
dude.
got no weed, dude.
Go get
Holy
it, bro.
fucking... What is going on? What is the world I live... Baby! Do you hear this? Oh my god. Talk about big cum.
Yeah, dude. I was really bored on that 8-hour trip.
Oh shit.
There you go.
Oh, it's beautiful. You got like a fucking... This is serious.
It was like $15.
This is like refillable.
Yeah, it's like a pen.
I've never seen a weed vape that was refillable like this.
Yeah, it's just the cartridge is THC instead of.
There's a lot of fucking weed in here.
It's $40.
You're gonna take a long time to burn through this. This is only 40. Where'd you get it?
I got it from his friend Pete in.
So just
New
a
York.
guy?
Yeah, just a dude.
Of course, it's way fucking cheaper to get it from a dude than
Yeah.
it is to fucking buy it legally in Massachusetts.
So.
Oh hi Mark! Did you hear that Tom here's got a fucking weed vape pen? Tom fucking his friends got him fucking smoked them up. Who did it? Was Saber?
It was Matt.
Who, Matt? Who's? Oh Matt. Oh of course. Yeah. I don't know why I didn't jump to him because he seems like the one who would smoke.
You have to stop getting your news from those Pikers.
Oh,
You need to hold it.
Did you turn it on first? You gotta hit the button a couple times to turn it on.
Oh really?
Otherwise, yeah, let me see. You just hit it like 5 times in a row and it'll turn on.
5? Holy shit! Why 5?
To make sure you don't accidentally turn it on, I guess.
You keep this up. You really feel like continuing?
Point taken.
Excellent.
There you
I can't believe you got that much for 40 bucks, because, like, there's more liquid in there than there was in the $60 one that I had taken with me to Rochester.
Rip.
What is love? I was, like, really, like, considering going out to buy some, like, tonight, regardless of line length, just because of having to fucking rake the leaves all day. But if I had to stand in a line for 2 hours, I would have been dead by the end.
Yeah.
Fucking leaves, man. I sent a
meme that needs to die.
I sent a voicemail to the Dick Show screaming about it. I hope he fucking plays it.
Good.
Because I got really pissed
Excellent.
off. But yeah, just so the chat knows what the hell happened. You see, our incompetent landlord who is doing this job for the first time, so she is supposed to take care of yard work on the house. However, she did not account for the fact that she would have to do, like, hire people to do leaves or snow. And so because she had not accounted for that, and it's, like, expensive to do it, she was like, okay, like, I can have it taken care of, but I'll have to raise your rent. And we were like, well, we'll just do it ourselves, you know, don't bother. And, but, like, our intention was just to not do it, because we don't care. Then she hits us with asking us to sign an addendum to our homeowners agreement, or not, what is it, whatever it's called, renters agreement.
Yeah, whatever.
She sends us an addendum and asks us to sign, saying that we will rake the leaves before December 1st each year, or else be fined like $200 to $300, which I assume is the cost of what she would have to pay someone to do it. And so we were just like, well, we're going to move out anyways, so I guess we'll just sign it so as not to cause drama. But we told her we were moving. Like, I gave her the rundown of why and told her, like, yeah, we're planning to leave in, like, by the spring.
You just say you suck.
Yeah. Well, that's not the only reason, but, you know.
I would have led with that one, just to fucking set the
Yeah,
tone.
I mean, I did hit her with, like, a bunch of, like, complaints about the house and shit, but, like, you know, so we signed the thing, and then she sends us a text that's like, oh, send me pictures of the yard with all the, you know, leaves raked or whatever. And we were like, we haven't done it. And I'm like, well, I mean, obviously she can't actually fine us, but, like, I don't want to have basically lied and told her that we were both going to do it and that we did do it, and then because she's going to come over in the next few days to, like, do repairs on the house, and she's going to see that we didn't rake the leaves. So we went ahead and did it, and it took all fucking day, and it was a fucking huge piece of shit. Raking leaves is a goddamn boomer meme. Literally, there is no reason to do it. The leaves will they will eventually just erode into your fucking lawn. And not only do they protect your grass, they keep it warm. All of the grass that we have that was, like, the most covered in leaves is the only grass that's still alive out there, because it was kept warm by the leaves. So not only does it protect your grass, not kill it, but it then dissolves as mulch and feeds the grass. So it's good for your yard. The only reason to pick it up is aesthetics.
Oh, it looks gross. I'm a fucking retarded fucking white person. Blah.
It's an Asian lady who owns the house, but
It's white people's standards that cause this to happen, though. Let's be real.
And fucking, there's like, so we had to fill like 35 fucking plastic bags. It's like, this is the worst for the environment possible, you know?
Yeah. We're gonna go lethal. We're gonna fucking
Not
make
about to take
everybody.
any chances.
Lethal it is. But
Hell
remember,
yeah.
they do have
So smooth.
hostages, and I'd hate to see any of our people get caught in the
This is legitimately better than the fucking pen that I paid money for.
A lot of tight and close
Like,
calls.
a better device.
Labs themselves are pretty
I mean, you also paid money for it, but I meant, like, I paid like $60 for
something you
this.
can use from a distance or up close.
I gotta get Ben to fucking put me in contact with the try. Oh, unrepresentative Sax subscribed with Twitch Prime.
Woo!
Shout out. Expensive.
All of the subs. It's fuck. Dude, we gotta get on giving our subs some more dick sucking.
Got 'em running
Gotta get those emotes. Gotta get all that shit.
Yeah,
Anything else?
Keep your
Yeah.
eyes open for hostages.
You gotta do it. You're the graphic artist. I don't know how to make anything.
Oh, you're right. It's all my fault.
Developed it for the alphabet agencies. And if we don't
Wait,
believe
Tom
it,
doesn't understand how Roman
it's still a
cancels
secret.
work?
Well,
I understand how they work. I'm just
sure you'll
not
get
good
the
enough to pull
job
them
done
off.
right.
Because I didn't know about Roman cancels until well after. Because I eventually got the game from Blockbuster with no manual, and the internet was not a big thing back then. So I just kind of played against the computer on PS2 and tried to figure things out. I learned my combos from like the little screen that pops up when you start the game.
Maxed Out EX says Tom is never getting his weed vape back, just like his Nintendo Switch.
Probably.
No one's like Tom's Nintendo Switch is just downstairs. He can come take it.
I said in the chat, like, I can't play the Switch right now because Digi stole it again and it's downstairs and I don't know what he's doing with it. I guess it became a thing.
It was just because May was playing Smash on it.
Yeah, I think that's what I said. I think I said you guys were playing Smash. Oh no, I said you both were playing Smash, so I assumed you both were.
Harusaro says, I'm on a hiatus until my plants are fully grown. Ayy. Dude, I'd love to fucking... I think there's a chance after we move that we're gonna try to grow. Because it's legal to grow, so it's obviously gotta be the cheapest way to do it.
It's legal to grow?
Yeah, dude. You can do whatever the fuck you want, nigga.
That seems like...
You can only have, like, so
You can't
much.
sell it,
Yeah. You can't sell your own, but you can grow your own.
Alright, I was gonna say, that seems like economy breaking.
Jensen, it's me, Pritchard. Where are you?
On a roof overlooking the plant.
Good. Your point of entry should be through shipping and receiving.
Should be, Francis. The hell does that mean?
Shade says, well, what the fuck, I'm following you guys, but I didn't get notified when you started streaming. They're fucking you all over.
Plan of the frontal assault.
Well,
I suppose you could
I don't know why.
building's roof.
all the racial slurs, they're finally censoring us. We've been shadow banned.
Yeah.
It's good. Now we're just gonna play the victim and our Patreon will explode. If we have it.
White people are a meme that needs to die.
I'll be dead soon.
Kill all the trees so we don't have to rake the leaves. That's that, you know, pointing at the head meme right there.
Right.
Oh my god, Shade subscribed with Twitch Prime. Thank
Oh,
you. $5
fuck!
from Shade.
Is that
Hell
Pizza
yeah.
Hut money?
That Domino's money, not Pizza Hut money. Come on, man.
Shit.
Not a hardcore Shade fan.
I'm sorry, I am. I promise.
Let's fucking murder this guy. Oh! Sucks to be that dude.
Mime thinks says I'm making a fantasy novel about a world in which society has evolved past all of this kind of useless bullshit like lawn mowing. Dude, I gotta fucking I have to Can I do a reading break where I read a passage from something?
I mean, if you wanna.
Alright, this is what we're doing. So, back in 2011, especially because Shade is here, so this is fucking perfect. Back in 2011, me and Shade were making a story together called Cyrano and Purple Steve. And basically the conceit of this story, how this came about, was that I had found out about Axe Cop. You know about Axe Cop, right?
Yes.
For the audience who doesn't, it's a story where like this comic artist had his like 6-year-old, I think, brother like come up with a story and he just drew the story. And like the kid, like the younger brother, like literally writes it. So it's kind of like incomprehensible fucking madness, but it's just like crazy awesome stuff, and it became really popular. And I was like, I want to do something like that with Shade. But Shade was a bit older than that. He was in his teens, I think. But like, I was like, Shade, come up with an idea for a story and I'll write about it. And Shade just basically looks around his room and he sees this garden hose attachment that kind of looks like it could be used as a sword. And I think we had used it as a toy sword. And he basically said, like, a guy finds this garden hose attachment in his backyard and it gets struck by lightning and it comes to life. And he uses it to go kill the demons. That was his plot. So I created like 11 chapters of a story, You can go to cyranoandpurplesteve.wordpress.com and read the whole thing. Up until my light novel that I wrote in like a day, this was like the most recent fiction I've done, and it is the best piece of fiction that I have written, other than some of the shorts in like the better shorts in my in light novel I wrote in like a day. I'm gonna read you just the first bit of the first chapter because it's relevant to this discussion, and it's also my real feelings. So, Cyrano and Purple Steve is a very weird story because I basically wrote it in like a stream of consciousness, and as it went along, like, there's a lot of depth to the main character that you only kind of start to see hints of in the story, and I hadn't really gotten to the point where I was going to like explain why he acts the way he does. But he's extremely nihilistic because like basically throughout his whole life terrible shit is constantly happening to him, but like you don't really learn about it at the beginning. Like as the story goes along, you'll learn that like his mom got run over by a tank, and like his previous girlfriend like was crushed by a boulder, and like just all kinds of like really shitty stuff has happened to him, so he's just kind of gone crazy. But this is how chapter 1 starts. I've always thought mowing the lawn was stupid. You spend 2 hours of an otherwise perfect Saturday mowing the lawn, only to find yourself doing the same thing on the next otherwise perfect Saturday. The lawn is always back by next week because it doesn't care about your schedule. It's not like you can blame the lawn for wanting to grow. It's your own fault that you waste your Sundays mowing the damn thing since you're the one so concerned about it. When I was 14 years old, my dad made me mow the lawn one day, and I asked him, why do we mow the lawn every week when it's just going to grow back anyway? The truth of the matter, I suspected, was that my dad would be embarrassed if his house was the only one without a mowed lawn. But he was far too proud to admit something like that. His dignity demanded an intellectual and rational-sounding answer. Because if the grass gets too long, it attracts bugs. I was young enough then that I didn't know how to think before speaking, so I blurted out the first refute that came to mind. It's not a bad one, mind you, but I could have done better if I'd given it a moment. If all the bugs go and live in the yard, won't that mean there'll be less in the house? My dad's response was to smack me upside the head. That was his response whenever I asked a question that was too smart for him to prove wrong, but too dumb for him to acknowledge. Luckily, I had plenty of Saturdays ahead of me to get the truth. You know, it takes a few weeks for the lawn to get really bad, so why do we mow it every week? He smacked me upside the head again. Since my question seemed perfectly logical that time, I figured I wasn't going to win this one and resigned to my Saturday-destroying fate for the next 4 years, until I was old enough to move out and get a place of my own. The place I moved into was about one rung up from an apartment, meaning a tiny house on the far side of town. The cost of gas for my work commute equalized my incredibly low rent, but it was worth it to not have neighbors on all sides. A living situation in which I couldn't blast the new Blind Guardian album, Nightfall in Middle-earth, at 2 in the morning was one I didn't want to deal with. This is me trying to signal the fact that this story takes place in 1997. Atop my list of things I wouldn't pass on to the next generation of the Excalibur family was the outdated practice of mowing the lawn, and in the whole first year that I lived on my own, I never mowed it once. It didn't take long for weeds to overrun the whole thing, and it grew rapidly until stabilizing at gut height. Things I'd never seen before started appearing in it, usually trash and lost baseballs from children I suspected didn't exist, but also more obscure items like a computer motherboard, an enormous totem pole, and my favorite, a hollowed-out moose skull, which I turned into an acoustic instrument. I got a little worried that people were mistaking my home for a trash house and considered finally mowing the lawn, but it was kind of fun to see what unexpected objects might turn up, so I decided against it. Unfortunately, personal freedom only goes so far in America, and there's always someone holding power over you. When I was a kid, my dad ruled over me with age and strength. In the adult world, they use more twisted methods, like waving a contract around, threatening to evict someone if they don't cut their grass before another neighbor complains about it. After 1 year on my own, my abuse of power was at an end, and the man had me under his thumb. It was time to mow the lawn. And that's the first half of the first chapter, right there. So go read that on cyranoandpurplesteve.wordpress.com if you want to know how it continues. There's only 11 chapters, and the plot never really gets moving, because it's mostly tangents such as that. Like, chapter 2 starts off with a whole rant about how he doesn't like Cheerios because it's normie shit, basically. Yeah. What does Cyrano have to do with it? The main character's name is Cyrano Excalibur. Named after Cyrano and Excalibur, who were, like, Shade's 2 favorite characters at the time. Keyblade says, Parasite Eve Respliced Disc 1 is available to all I Am Games subscribers through the Master Race chat, which I guess now includes Shade as I am writing this. Shade, if you feel like playing a PS1 RPG from the late 90s, which incidentally is the first RPG I ever saw, because I saw it at a friend's house, like, very briefly. The only time I ever went inside his house, for that matter. Every streamer ever has trouble with notifications. It's just Twitch sucking. Shade says, I haven't been streaming because I'm a normie now. I work too many hours. And he spelled normie N-O-R-M-Y, proving without a doubt the truth of the statement. Spelled with an I-E. Shade said no. She said Pizza Hut. I'll never sub again. That was Mark though. It wasn't. It's not a she. Mark is a demi boy.
Demi boy.
Oh god, someone's posting Tracer memes. Get out of here with that shit. Now it's in my head. Fucking May's dad was fucking, like, walking around the house singing, maybe I'll be Tracer. He doesn't even know what it means.
That's funny. Because
her fucking brother, like, constantly plays, well, her brother's a big meme lord. Like, he's on the internet looking at memes all the time. And then his dad will, their dad will, like, watch the meme compilations on YouTube. And, of course, there's, like, a fucking 1,000 of the stupid fucking Tracer song meme. I had never even heard of this thing. And her dad is walking around fucking singing it. And I'm just like, this is a bizarre world that we live in.
You know who sings that song, right?
No.
Black Griffin.
Oh. My head just exploded into 1,000 fucking pieces.
Yeah, dude. Add another thread to that tapestry over there.
Oh, is that what is this? Is it a duet of him and fucking what's her name?
I don't know who the other
is.
person
Is it? Does it have Michelle Creeber in it?
I think they parted ways or something. I don't know.
I don't even fucking. I don't
I'm
know
not
anything.
up on the hot goss.
That is fucking hilarious.
But,
Since most of our chat, men of culture, probably don't know who Black Griffin is.
Right.
He was one of the most famous bronies.
He has over 1 million subs now.
Is he? But he's not still a brony, right?
No, but he's
I mean, I'm not surprised he has 1 million subs if he's making fucking Overwatch shit.
Yeah.
Which is pretty much, you know, where the autists went. If we're, if we're being honest. If they didn't go to anime like we did. But, so, Black Griffin was like I mean, maybe people know about him now. Like, maybe he's even more better known because...
I would assume so.
I mean, maybe these people all have heard of him because he made I Want to Be Tracer. But let me tell you his real history. For Black Griffin was originally, like, he was, like, a member of the Navy who had, like... He was in, like, a Navy band, I think, and was a singer. And, like, he got involved with the brony community and was, like... he would just, like, appear in songs and shit, and, somehow he became friends with the family of the voice actress who plays Apple Bloom, one of the kid characters. Like, the voice actress was, like, 13 or 14 at the time, Michelle Creeber.
I think so.
So, like, somehow he became friends with the Creebers and got, like, integrated into their family, and then him and Michelle Creeber would, like, do songs together. Like, they would do live shows and songs, and, like, they basically went to like all the cons as like a gig kind of thing. And I think for the Krieber family, it's like they were trying to turn their daughter into like a superstar from birth kind of thing. But they're kind of like, they're not like a rich, deep industry family necessarily, you know? They're just like, oh, our daughter's gonna go all the way kind of thing. And like Black Griffin is gonna be involved too. And I guess he's still doing well for himself. I assume that song's gotta have a jagillion views.
Right.
So yeah, he's definitely an odd character, and he, going by like the way he would perform in all of the, because he's in the Bronies React videos, at least a couple of them, and he is like a way obnoxious, over the top, attention whore kind of character in those. So he always seemed like kind of an insufferable person, and he was one of those. He's one of the few handful of like brony e-celebs who was like, you know, like too good to participate kind of thing. Like you don't see him walking the floors at the cons, you know. He's probably hanging out in the back rooms, smooching with the fucking. Yeah, he's got a lot of fucking views and subs.
I mean, the few times I've hung out with Gabe, he's been like a good guy, so I can only speak.
Oh, you've met the guy?
Yeah.
Well, you're less cynical than I am, so there you go.
Yeah, a little bit, I guess. Well, I'm not gonna run out there again.
Interesting. His biggest videos are one guy, 23 voices videos.
Yeah.
Infinity War impressions. Maybe he is a nice guy. I just hate his face. Is that wrong of me?
I mean, can't control your
how do you think that I should not assume the worst about him based on your impressions, or do you think that it's worth wariness?
I would not assume the worst of him from what I know of him. Lamau!
We'll just write him as obnoxious then.
Just take aim and boom, headshot.
His Twitter bio says he's a pilot.
Yeah.
Is he still in the military?
No, he's just a pilot. He does that.
There are only two good things that ever came out of the Brony community: drowning in horseshoes and them's fighting herds. Did that ever actually come out?
It did.
Is it any good?
I think so.
Nobody fucking cared about it anymore once they took away the pony characters.
Well, that's kind of how the pony fandom worked in its entirety.
It's so... In that case, I think is probably the one that disgusts me the most, because Lauren Faust created original characters for it.
Yep.
So, like, if you want to see the purest example of people just don't even give a single fuck at all, like, there you go.
We're just as guilty because we didn't even know it came out. Stealing your guns, stealing your shit.
Digi, if you hate someone based on their face, you might as well be a racist. That's fair.
Joke's on you, buddy. I'm a racist.
Them's Fighting Herds has... this guy says, I've seen tons of fan art of Them's Fighting Herd characters. Well, that's good. I ended up, like, not... Like, I barely heard about it at fucking all after they had to stop using MLP characters. But maybe that's just in the circles I was in.
Maybe. I gotta piss again.
Tom, are you participating in Newgrounds Pixel Day?
No, I don't even know what that is.
Tell them about it. Go into the I Am Games Discord. We got a dev chat.
Yeah, go do that.
I'm sure some people in there have got to be participating in it. I'm gonna hit the fuck out of Tom's vape while he's gone. I'm gonna fucking suck this whole thing dry. What? created digenously. Oh fuck! Shit! Oh my! I'm dead. I'm actually dead. I'm going down. I'm going down in a spiral to the ground. No one. No one's gonna save us now. Not even God. That's the biggest hit I've ever taken in my life.
You okay?
Holy fucking shit.
Did you think I wouldn't hear you cough and know what you did?
Well, I don't think you trust in my
I'm disgusted.
suicide.
Yeah.
I cry when angels deserve to die. Greg B. Hart said that Them's Fighting Herds won an award for best indie fighting game. Did it just come out last year?
I think so.
Maybe that's why I wasn't hearing about it. The dev cycle took too damn long.
Took too long. Your fan base gone.
Has anybody made any interesting videos about it?
I have no idea.
I'm down to jump on that bandwagon at the last minute. I mean, fuck, didn't you have a video about it before in its dev time? Somebody did. I remember somebody having like some kind of analytical video about it before it was even out. I don't think I ever talked about it though. I'm not going to answer any questions about anime, by the way, today. We're trying to actively gear this show towards purely games discussion. It's been working, this show. Aside from the part where I read my book for 10 minutes.
Nobody's perfect.
God damn. Kuri Neru says, Digibro sucks it dry is a good clip name. I took the biggest, like, drag of my entire life. I exhaled completely so that I would have no air in my lungs at all, and then I just went until I couldn't anymore. And the whole time in my head, I was just thinking System of a Down lyrics. I was just thinking, because there's a song that starts off, War created digenously you. And I was just playing that through the whole time.
Why you gotta be like that?
And then I fucking died.
Why you gotta be like that?
Like what?
Why you gotta be like that?
Who, me?
Why you gotta be like
Me
taking my shit when I'm not around?
Because it was funny for the stream. Maxed Out says I should play Them Fighting Herds, but I know I can't get people to play it, and that's saying something considering all the fighting games my dumbass has played. I want to play it. I mean, it seemed like in the dev, like when they were developing it early on, and like everybody in the Pony fandom was keeping track of it, it seemed really fucking legit. Cause like their biggest inspirations were like Skullgirls and Guilty Gear, so it was like
It played really well.
Yeah, it had like a lot of flow. It was like not like an anime fighter, but like the. Because, like, Guilty Gear and another company, the one who makes, like, Under Night In-Birth, are both known for the fact that, like, they make, like, really incredible fighting games, but then they will also, like, make anime fighters and shit, like Persona 4 and Dengeki Bunko Fighting Climax. But, like, it's, like, that level of anime fighter. Like, not basic-ass just mash X to win. I mean, you could argue Persona 4 is like that, but it still is a it's Arc System Works, right? They're the ones who make Guilty Gear?
Yeah.
Okay. Making sure I'm fucking thinking of the right shit. You ever play Persona 4? The fighting game?
No.
Oh shit, cinematic fucking kill. Oh! That was like, the way it like broke away was so like harsh that it really felt like we were watching a totally unrelated movie for a second there. But yeah, did you ever play the Persona 4 fighting game?
No.
Arena, that's what it was. It's pretty good. You would definitely enjoy it because it's I mean it kind of is like a more simplified Guilty Gear. That's my biggest fear in hearing that he said he's going to make Guilty Gear more simple is that they will just make it like a simplistic anime fighter. But like I would trust them to find a happy medium between those because like Persona 4 was still a competitive fighter. People still enjoyed it a lot. Yeah. Like so it's not like it was fucking complete child's play, but I would hate to see Guilty Gear immediately just become that, as opposed to something in between them. But I am a big fan of Dengeki Bunko Fighting Climax, which is a very similar game, and that one's from the people who made Under Night in Birth and Melty Blood and something else. Yeah, that's right. I'm fucking flexing my fighting game knowledge right now. None of y'all motherfuckers thought I had fighting game knowledge, did ya? I know some shit. All my old friends were fighting game boys. Have you guys written your testaments yet? What does that mean?
I don't know.
No thank you music says, oh yeah, that reminds me. A few streams ago I said I didn't like System of a Down because they're too corny. I will now go back on that statement and admit that I was in fact wrong. I don't like I almost read Sword Art Online. I don't like System of a Down because they're just bad. Disagree. I understand why you would think so. And I will say that there is no way I would get into them today if I had not grown up with them. Like, I will grant you that. I could not newly and freshly listen to System of a Down and be like, oh, I'm gonna fucking, this is gonna be my album of the year. Like, probably I would think it was corny right off the bat. But because I grew up with it, I mean, maybe if they came out today with like, if they came out today with the same sound they have, their mixing would have to be way the fuck better for me to care, I guess is what I would say. Like, because if a modern band came out trying to do System of a Down sound, but like we're not a super mainstream act or anything, I mean, no mainstream act would try to do that sound because that's not what is mainstream right now. So like, any new metal band that comes out today is going to be trying to like enhance the formula of it and like revive it basically. So like if a band came out now doing that sound, they would have the mixing prowess to make it sound great. And the band that already exists, it came from Japan and it's Maximum the Hormone, and they are way the fuck better than System of a Down, no question. Buiki Kayasu and Rockin' Pogoroshi are like two of my favorite albums. I would definitely say that they are like, if you took the style of early nu metal and like just fucking made it as tight and good as possible and made it sound really fucking good, which is what the Japanese do to music. Like, they take American music genres and they find a way to make it like studio perfect, you know, but still with lots of personality, because Japanese just culture is more open to quirk than America is, you know? Like, they like the bands to be a little weird, whereas America likes everything fucking sanitized and fucking to, you know, if it's a tough guy band, they just gotta sound like tough guys, you know? Fucking Five Finger Death Punch is not gonna make a song that goes choo choo da ba dee ma dee ma dee ma da ma da prim prim bra noo da 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 da. You know that song, right?
Yeah, I know that whole album.
That fucking song is the best. Do you know what that song is about? Have you ever read the lyrics, the translated lyrics? It's about raping, like, for fun. And like most, because the chorus is just a bunch of sexual sound effects. So like the choo choo is, you know, the kissing sound, and then she says choo choo lovely, moony moony mura mura, pudim pudim boron nurudero. All of those are just like sexual, like rubbing and groping sound effects. And then in the mid section of the song, she sings a part where she says like "Daigakusei ga ii no, kokosei no ii no, shugakusei mo ii kedo ne," which translates to a college student would be fine, a high school student would be fine, a middle school student would be fine, an elementary school student would be fine, even a toddler would be fine. And that's what she sings through like the lovely, wholesome chorus of the song. I truly, honestly believe that Maximum the Hormone is the most wholesome band of all time. Nothing makes me feel warmer and more at home and more like I am with good company than Maximum the Hormone. So they're one of my favorite bands. System of a Down was required to make that possible because they're a huge influence on Maximum the Hormone, as are Red Hot Chili Peppers, because the bassist literally has all of Flea's tattoos. He has his tattoos. He, like, copied them onto his own body.
What an interesting take.
Yeah. And his name is Uehara Futoshi, and there's a song on their album Rakinpo Goroshi that's just his name, Uehara Futoshi. And on it, in the middle of the song, he just starts playing like the chorus from Don't Stop, or Can't, the standing in line to see the show tonight. He's playing the like verse like with a main line, hard stop, rib gauge, all that, you know that. I don't know the actual lyrics of the goddamn song. Like that bass line appears in the song because like Flea is his literal god. And it's like, I think Maximum the Hormone's a better band than Red Hot Chili Peppers. I think they have, I mean, Red Hot Chili Peppers is good, but they're similar to System of a Down in the fact that they have, other people have taken it and done it better. And I would say they're better for being influential than for, you know, their own work. Anyways, that's your music rant for the day. Everybody gets one. There's a Persona 5 fighting game on the way. That is not surprising. I honestly, like, I should probably play Persona 5, even though I feel like I shouldn't. I have a really complicated relationship with Persona. Should I go into it, or should I try to look for something that you could converse about as well? Have you ever played Persona?
Played a very little bit of Persona 3. But like,
so have I. Funny story. Yeah. Yet somehow I have a really complicated relationship with Persona. But I've never played more than 10 hours of Persona 3, and that's it. Well, that's not true. I've played all of Persona 2.
We need to make a choice here.
I always forget that.
This guy has some random bitch hostage.
Yes.
And he wants to leave. So we can either let him go and take the hostage. We can engage in a negotiation minigame to try and get him to willingly release her, or we can fucking shoot that bitch.
Look. I believe that the rules of engagement were kill everyone in this stream, right? Have we been upholding that? Have you killed everyone?
I've been killing everybody, yeah.
Kill that motherfucker.
Alright.
Not a chance this ends now.
Get him before the sausage gets it. Ah, he didn't even shoot her. He went right for you. There was no consequence for that choice. Wait, is she dead?
I think she did.
What the hell happened? Who fucking killed her?
I guess he did.
When? I didn't see that shit happen. Seems like bullshit.
What about the hostages? Shouldn't I?
There's nothing you can do, son.
Oh god, there's so much chat. I'm fucking... People are talking about Persona, so I should probably talk about it.
What you signed up for, is it, Jensen?
Excuse me?
Sneaking into your own factory to hide stuff while the boss holds the
So...
Don't get me wrong, I love Mr. Seraph. I just hate it when contracts become more important than people. I thought you.
What? Sorry, I was just reading a weird factoid about System of a Down that I'd never heard before. This guy said, most people I know who dislike System of a Down do so because they supposedly copied their local sound and got industry push for doing so. Was it really their local sound, though? Like, nu metal was blowing up at the time. I mean, I guess they were pretty early into it, but,
You ready to go?
like, I could see that being the case for back when they were a band called Soil, who had more of, like a regular songwriting style than what System of a Down had. But like, I'd be shocked if there was a whole scene of like the song structures that they employ on their first album. Pretty creative. Anyway, Persona 5, right. So, once upon a time, when I was a 14-year-old, I was obsessed with JRPGs. And the reason is that I had gotten heavy into video games, and I had previously been heavy into anime. I'd been into anime real hard for like 2 years, and I had made a transition into being into video games. And this was aided by the fact that we moved into a house that got G4. And so I got an Xbox, and I was buying a lot of like relatively mainstream games, or like stuff that I had heard about being good in reviews like over the years and went back to check out. But eventually I realized that RPGs, which I had not had a ton of exposure to growing up because I had a fucking N64 and a GameCube, so I didn't have a lot of exposure to RPGs until this point. And when I found out about them, I was kind of like, oh shit, this is anime but a video game. Like, this is the best of both worlds. So I was doing shitloads of research on RPGs. I was always hanging out on RP Gamer and RPG Fan and reading every fucking review of every game. I can probably name most RPGs that exist. Like, I am pretty confident about that. I fucking bought a shitload of PS2 RPGs, and the ones I was the most excited about were Shin Megami Tensei because they have the coolest aesthetic. It is completely 100% my aesthetic. It looks like Boogie Pop, and I think I probably knew about it even before Boogie Pop, or at least around the same time. And like, at this age, I was fucking heavy into Boogie, like, on my top 10 anime were Boogie Pop Phantom, Serial Experiments Lain, Neon Genesis Evangelion, like, you know, heady fucking experimental anime with like a dark urban tone. And I had read Boogie Pop and others, and it was my favorite book, and I was obsessed with it. And it's getting an anime adaptation next season, and I'm concerned but hopeful, because it's Madhouse. I don't know why they would bother if it wasn't going to be good, because it's not exactly like Boogie Pop is super well remembered, you know? It's always been pretty niche. And like, the original Boogie Pop Phantom anime almost has nothing to do with the light novels. It's just it's like, it takes place in between the first two, and it's about like the ramifications of what happens in the first book affecting the city. And it's like in the tone relatively of the books, but it really isn't very similar to them. So it was not like an adaptation or anything. Like, the Boogie Pop novels are a very different kind of show. And so I don't know what it's going to come out like as an anime. Like, it's hard to imagine the books as an anime because they're not very anime-esque. They're not like modern light novels, which have taken influence from light novel anime. Anyways, I digress. I was super into Boogie Pop, and then I played Persona 3. And the opening cutscene of the game, beat for beat, looks just like the first episode of like Serial Experiments Lain, and like the style of Boogie Pop, but it has like this really distinctive color aesthetic with these like highlighter blues. And I thought it was the coolest fucking thing I'd ever seen. And like, there's all this suicide imagery in the game of characters pointing guns to their head, and I was mega fucking suicidal at the time, so I thought it was the coolest shit ever. And like, I literally almost got expelled from school one time for writing a story about putting a dominator, because that's what they're called, putting a dominator to my head because I was so depressed about doing my English homework. So, like, I have a deep connection with the aesthetic of this game, and especially its opening cutscene. But the thing is that while the game, it is in fact very anime-esque, the characters are all pretty generic anime characters. They're not bad. Part of it is helped by the fact that the artwork is phenomenal. Like, all the character designs look really great. However, you can only play it in English. And if you're a pretentious dub hater like me, and you can't stand to hear Vic fucking Mignogna ever, then it's kind of hard to play the fucking game when you can't play it in Japanese. I should look up if anybody's made an undub of the game, because I don't know if you've heard of that, but there's sometimes they make, like, mods of like games, like it's just like a ROM of the American game, but just with the voice tracks replaced. So I should look for that, because I can't fucking stand to listen. Like, it even has some of my favorite voice actresses in it, and I think that both the girls sound great. I even think most of the characters sound great. I just can't stand Vic Mignogna. But anyways, the thing about the game is that what's different about Shin Megami Tensei from other RPGs is that it's way more mechanically driven and way less story driven. And, like, the conceit of the game is that you manage these social relationships with people, and, like, every time you hang out with them, the social relationship progresses, and there's, like, a mini narrative there. But none of the narratives are interesting at all. Like, you only ever get, like, a couple lines of dialogue out of the characters, and, like, sometimes you hang out with them and nothing even happens. And, like, when you get, like, your relationship doesn't progress in a satisfying enough way or have enough narrative behind it to really make you care about any of these connections. It just feels like a mechanic, you know, in the service of getting more personas. And then, like, there's kind of a labyrinthine system of usage of personas and, like, fusing them and all this other shit and, like, doing all these side quests, and it's like, it feels more like a gamey game. And so I only ever played like 10 hours of it, and I kept just wanting to pick it back up but never feeling driven to, because, like, there just wasn't enough grabbing me in what I was doing on the day-to-day in the game, in spite of the fact that I loved everything about the aesthetic and storyline. And, like, it heavy uses the phrase memento mori, and I wanted to get that tattooed on my back for a while. I was like, yeah, dude, remember that you're gonna die. That's fucking deep, man. But I'm glad that didn't happen. So over the years, I just kept, like, trying to play the game again, and then not ending up doing it. And then there was a point where May was playing Xenosaga, and she was getting really into it, but then the game, turned out my game disc was scratched, and it wouldn't fucking play. And it was super fucking sad. So in the meantime, I had her play Persona 3 instead. I was like, hey, play this game, maybe I'll finally get to see the end of it, and maybe you'll like it, because I remember it being cool. And as it went along, we quickly realized that neither of us gave a shit about the narrative at all, because, again, the side characters are not that intriguing, and, like, basically the game itself just wasn't deep enough for her. She was like, I wish there was more with, like, the fusions and more to, because she had done everything up to a certain point that you can do before the story progresses, and the story only progresses if you, like, wait out a certain number of days. So it's like, because she was bored by the social links, she had just spent all her time in the dungeon grinding, and had gotten, like, just had, like, done every side quest, and was basically just like, well, this is boring, like, what am I gonna go study for fucking 6 nights? And I was like, you know what? I've had a realization. Persona is a baby game. Because that is the intention of it. Because Shin Megami Tensei as a series basically has different like, tiers of itself, where there's the original series, and there's, like, 4 of those, and then you've got, like, the Devil Summoner series, and then the Digital Devil Saga series, and the Persona series, and the Demi Kid series, and some of them are different in that they explore different gameplay styles, but some of them are different in that they are meant to appeal to younger audiences. So Persona is meant to be Shin Megami Tensei for teens. Because the main series games all feature adult characters, really like apocalyptic themes. You have to like, they're gory. They're like rated M. You know, they're like rated M RPGs, and so Persona is the rated teen version. And like, as cool as the aesthetic is, and as much as it resonates with Shin Megami Tensei, it's also kind of like, well, I should be playing the grown-up version of this instead of the teenage version, you know? Was kind of the feeling I was getting from it. And, but I also had to realize over the years that, like, I, as a kid, wanted a narrative-driven game, and Atlas games are more gameplay-driven. Like, they're more about the mechanics of an RPG, whereas, like, Final Fantasy, for instance, has like more stripped down mechanics and is more about presenting a really epic story that has like great pacing, and you know, Shin Megami Tensei will ask you to just grind forever. So that's why I'm afraid to play Persona 5. However, I would assume, since the game is 90 hours and is a more modern title, that they probably filled in more of the gaps, you know, made the stuff you do at school more interesting, or the narrative's better, improved on the combat. They probably, I mean, the game aesthetically looks awesome, so I'm more interested in playing it than I would be in returning to 3 or 4, but that's not necessarily convincing that I should be doing that before something like Nocturne, or watching May do that, if she ever wants to play another RPG. May hasn't really been gaming as much lately as when she was in beat all the Final Fantasies mode. But that's like it's like the tide, you know, it comes in every 6 months or so.
I think the tide comes in a bit more frequently.
Shade says, I'm pretty sure you guys have enough viewers to get partnered. Shade, we are partnered. We already are Twitch partners.
How long have we been going for?
1 hour 41.
Right.
I know you probably lived an entire life while I was talking about Persona just now.
Yeah, that was like a long...
I wanted to get it all off my chest. I could probably like clip that and fucking release it as a video.
Do it.
My entire history with Persona.
Oh, Adam, I'm sorry you startled me. And please, call me Cassandra. You
Okay,
and
I'm
Megan
way
were
too far
together
back in the chat.
I was waiting for you.
Out here? Why not come meet me inside?
I don't know. I guess I'm just not ready. This is where you work, but to me, this is also the place where I lost my daughter.
Oh, right. It was an evoker in Persona. The Dominator is the Psychopath gun.
Okay.
I guess it's
I was confused as to why they were both called the same
Yeah.
thing.
there's just no right way to
Fox on the First says, I would put a Dominator to my head too if I watched Psychopath Season 2.
after all you've been through.
Mime Think says, Churn my dad! It's the theme song from Persona 3. She actually says Burn My Dread, but he wrote Churn My Dad.
Handle all of this.
There's absolutely undubs for Persona.
They did what they
Good.
had to do to save me. And in a way, I can do more now than I ever could.
Keyblade says, Alright Scrubs, time to drop my own post-shower fighting game knowledge bomb. I have Them's Fightin' Herds.
Can I ask why you
It's dope. Mike Z, basically the guy who made Skullgirls, high-ranking BlazBlue / Marvel player back in the day, gave them the Skullgirls engine, so the gameplay is almost exactly like it. A good thing. Soft Circle French Bread made Melty Blood and Under Night in Birth, and I'm pretty sure Dengeki Bunko Fighting Climax was just made by Sega. ArcSys was totally responsible for Persona 4 Arena. What am I else? What did the Under Night in Birth guys make another anime fighter? Am I thinking of something different? Because yeah, Sega made
Inconsistent.
Dengeki Bunko. I don't know why I fucking thought it was them.
A man called
I remember that they were making an anime fighter at the time that I found out about them.
he has no proof.
And now you want to find out more.
I'll never hear my daughter laugh again.
Thank you for that check on my fighting game knowledge.
To ask her about her day. She was stolen from me. However,
To me, the Persona 3 OP looks way more like Shaft than Lane, Shin Onuma in particular. I can definitely see that. I was also big into Shaft at the time, so...
change what she saw in you. Please.
Shaft the anime studio, not the,
Really happened?
not the black icon character. You know they're making another Shaft where like all of the Shafts appear in it?
That's weird.
Yeah.
This means the world.
I think it was Shaft.
Really?
The first thing I'll need to do is meet with this detective Chase.
By the way, Pancakes with Craters subscribed with Twitch Prime at some point.
Sick!
I'll be waiting for you.
For an X month in a row, or is that a newbie?
Why does a detective need to
No, it was a new.
Oh shit.
Oh, he retired soon after the case. I don't really know the details. Maybe he'll tell you.
Who did Vic Mignogna play? I played the Jap version. He played the best friend character. Yeah, Junpei. It was already answered by somebody else.
About like one side quest that you're from.
Someone said, I'm pretty sure Digi told the story in chat before. I think I told the story of May playing Persona and me having the realization that it was... Yeah, but that was just like the capstone on me telling the entire leading up to it of like why I cared so much. Why it hurt so much to have that realization. If you are Twitch partners, does that mean you get money if I disable ad block? I think that happens anyways. I mean, if you watch ads on Twitch, it gives you bits, and if you give bits to people, like 1 bit is 1 cent, which is like really worth way more than the actual view of the ad. It's like as opposed to merely, you know, watching ads and like, we just happen to get paid because you happen to watch our ad. It's like you collect ads throughout the site, but then you decide who you're going to distribute your bits to. So it's like you could watch ads on other people's streams and give the bits to somebody else. And it's like the actual bit is worth more than the ad view itself would have been to the creator, at least. I don't really even know how that's affordable or how that translates for Twitch. I don't know how much their advertisers pay them per ad. Because, like, on YouTube, 1 ad view is worth fucking nothing. It's definitely not worth a cent.
Yeah.
You should try Persona 1 or 2? I left this out of the story somehow, but I did play Persona 2 Eternal Punishment, which is the one with the more adult characters. I played it up to the final boss and gave up because I was mega underleveled and I hadn't tried to do any like bonus shit, and the final boss is nearly impossible. And like I was sick of it. Like I thought the story got really corny in the second half. Like, I had loved the first half of the game, and then just like as it got again more mechanically driven and less narratively driven, I just lost interest.
Well, you must be Adam Jensen.
A keen observation.
Mrs. Reed told me you might pay me a visit. And don't take this the wrong way, but you're kind of hard to miss.
I'll try to take that as a compliment. She told me you might have information regarding Megan Reed's case and the attack on Seraph headquarters.
Oh boy, what a mess. Total pissing match. We had the feds on our ass, orders from 3 different departments, and pressure from so many lobbyists. It felt like being the scrawny new kid in the prison shower.
It is a very high-profile case. Mrs. Reed said you thought some procedures were overlooked.
You got that right. I mean, you know how it is. Mrs. Reed told me you used to be a cop. There's always cases where you...
Did you or any of the Macross shows beside the original good? I have never watched any of them all the way through, but according to Ghost Lightning, who is the world's biggest Macross fan, Macross Frontier is good. There's also a great GameCube game. Yeah, I don't know if it's great, but
it's not great.
I did sell my copy of it years ago. But
it's a game.
The spaceship levels are great. Like when you're playing as the fighter plane and taking down ships, that's like one of my favorite like piloting a plane games because it's more like it's more freeform than like Star Fox. I guess it's more similar to Star Wars Rogue Squadron. It probably is a ripoff of Star Wars Rogue Squadron, which is probably a better game because the on-foot segments where you play as the robot fucking blow ass.
They're not good.
Guess I'll have to pay a visit to the
Which was also the case in the GBA version, which is a game I played the shit out of, and I still have. It's just like a side-scrolling shooter where you scroll left to right. But like, if you touch the ground, you hurt yourself unless you're in robot mode. But like, in the scrolling levels, you pretty much just stay in either plane mode or defender mode. You won't really want to use robot mode. But then like every third level is like an isometric robot level, and it's like, oh great, I gotta do one of these. I'm gonna fucking lose half my lives on this.
But I'm pretty sure you can find some dirt on him on his desktop. His office is on the 3rd floor. You might find something there to help loosen up his tongue.
Anything else?
Is this director's cut?
Yeah,
Yes.
when the order came down to close the case, the bulk of the evidence was stashed in the storage locker. Maybe
I don't think Digi has seen any Macross. I've seen most of the original. And I've seen a few episodes. I had dropped Frontier. I didn't care about it, but Ghost Lightning insists that it's great. He's also insists that Macross 7 is great. And Macross 7 is like a big, goofy, episodic, like, wacky kids show, basically. But, it's got a lot of heart. It's got fucking beautiful character designs and great music.
That's all I need for now.
So yeah, probably the original 7 and Frontier, and of course the OVAs. I think those are both considered like masterpieces. The first OVA was made by the Cowboy Bebop director. That's how he got his start. Was on the Macross OVA. I've seen the first episode of that one. So yeah, I guess most of it was good up until the more recent ones, which are more hilarious. Not that they're bad necessarily, just like they're more lol cow kind of anime. Have you guys heard of the Infamous games for the PlayStation? Yes. We played one on stream, didn't we? Didn't we play Infamous Second Son on a stream once?
Once. I ended up beating the whole thing though. It was pretty good. But I've played all three.
What is your favorite Infamous? Wait, there's only 3?
There's only 3.
So it's just 1, 2, and Second Son.
Yeah.
Because like the main character like dies at the end of the second one, right? Or some shit.
I think so.
What's the best one?
I guess Second Son's probably the best one.
Yeah.
Well,
because I know 2 is like lauded for its narrative and having like a great ending.
Story. But the thing I didn't like about they changed from 1 to 2 and they kept for Second Son is that all of your powers use up your energy, like, even like the basic stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So you can get caught with your pants down if you don't have enough energy to do things. Like you have to just like kind of tank bullets while you run to go do something else. It's weird. Because you have to drain objects. Actually, Second Son was annoying until you got Neon, because like smoke was not a good power, and like yeah,
I remember you not being super into it at the start.
Once you get Neon, it gets so much better.
Stumblereal says, I like extra happy Digi. It's just extra stoned Digi that you're witnessing now. Because it got rid of all my fucking pains. My body was like in screeching pain for the last 3 days. The last 2 days is because I had a fucking massive hangover. And then today is because we raked the lawn for fucking hours. So, I was like really fucking jonesing. And now I'm realizing how much like the value of having weed around for moments like this is. Like, if I just learned to not smoke through my entire fucking stash every time I buy it, it would be nice to have around for when you fucking have busted ass all day. Let me know if you want any, Mark. You busted ass even harder than I did. Mark went out at 8:30 in the morning to rake leaves.
Yes.
And was doing it till 2:30 in the afternoon.
No, it's like, yeah, you're about right. 2:30.
If you have Twitch Prime, Hyperlight Drifter is free to download and keep forever through Twitch. The same with Hotline Miami, Hotline Miami 2, Strafe. I gotta wait for Tom to get back. Oh, fucking get the messenger this way. Tom.
Yeah.
Funny Bunny 581 says, if you have Twitch Prime, Hyperlight Drifter is free to download and keep forever through Twitch. The same with Hotline Miami 2, Strafe, The Messenger, and the Sword of Ditto. If you're a student, you get 6 months of Amazon Prime for free, and you get a free sub every month. I have Amazon Prime.
You should get all that shit.
So that means I should be able to get The Messenger for free, right? And fucking Hotline Miami 1 and 2. Finally actually play them.
What are you pissed at me about?
Isn't the main character of Infamous a mailman? Is that true? Is he a mailman?
Maybe.
I mean, he has like a carry bag on him, I guess. Is that a meme or something?
I remember he had like a really like mediocre life beforehand, so that might be true. I haven't played the first one in fucking forever. I don't know why I killed those guys.
Gonksa1 says, I love this game to death, but the DLC mission that got tacked onto this version, the missing link, sucks so much. I guess we won't play the DLC then.
Missing Link wasn't terrible, but it was not as good as this.
Sounds like we need to do an analysis video on it.
I mean, it's not as solid as the main game, I don't think.
That's exactly why. We can do a comparison. That would be the kind of thing that Noah Caldwell Gervais would do. I'm surprised he hasn't done this game, the Deus Ex games, honestly, because that's definitely in his wheelhouse. Maybe we can beat him to the punch. I don't think he has, anyways.
I don't have hacking powers.
Why did you end up raking if you thought it was a meme? Because the fucking landlady basically threatened to fucking charge us if we didn't do it. And also we told her we would and didn't, so I figured we probably should before she comes over. I should have just not told her that we would do it, and also told her that I do not accept the terms of her raising the rent and that I would leave if she did that. That would have been the negotiating way to do it. But at the time that I agreed to it, I didn't think it would be that hard to rake the leaves. Because we don't have really any trees in our yard, but there are trees in the neighbors' yards that dropped a lot of leaves onto our yard. How fucking big is your yard that it would take 6.5 hours to rake it? Pretty fucking big, actually. Our backyard is weirdly large because it runs the length of the side of the house and it's pretty wide. We don't even use it for anything, but I guess except for hangouts on like the back porch. But there's easily room for like a full-size overground pool. Fuck, you could put in an underground pool if you dug out the flower bed, but there's like a weird shack out there that we've never even tried to open. Ninja Jeff 50 says, I wish I was a smoker because having a burning thing in your mouth is awesome, but sadly smoking also sucks. Hard agree. Ooh, interesting question from Wise Man Madas, especially for you, Tom. Did you get a GameCube, PS2, and Xbox at around the same time? Where did you play your multiplats?
I had PS2 exclusively for a while, but I eventually did get all three, and I would play multiplats on Xbox.
I had them in such a disparate order because I had the GameCube like right when it came out, and then I didn't have the PS2 until 2003, but I didn't actually start playing it till a year later. And then I got the Xbox like late in like around, I think I got it for Christmas 2004, so like right before Halo 2, or right after Halo 2 came out. But like I don't really remember playing like any multi-platform games other than like Metal Arms, which I think I played on GameCube because I think that would have been all we had at the time. So probably any multi-platform games I did play, I probably played on GameCube. But I would think that the main like focus I would have had getting the other two consoles so late would have been to play their exclusives.
How important mechanisms go.
Oh, and apparently that mission is part of the main story in the director's cut, so we will see it. I mean, I assume you know this because you've played this, right? Mm. Remember to shoot the basketball. I'm pretty sure you get a trophy. Is that in this scene, or did we already miss that?
I think it's down in the basketball court. But, like, it's a pain in the ass to do. I don't give a shit about trophies. I paid my dues in this game.
Not answering any questions about anime, no matter how complex. This is a games stream. We've been going for 2 hours also. We just crossed 2:01 if you're getting tired or anything.
I am getting tired.
Sound like you're getting tired. Burning Sprite says, my childhood was laced as fuck with Army Men, a series of shooters where you play as plastic toy soldiers, and I feel like nobody ever talks about them in nostalgia rants. Surely there are more gamers out there that know the joys of melting plastic tan people on en masse. I've always heard those games are good, and I've never seen anyone play them or talk about them.
I've played a few of them. They kind of run the gamut.
I think that people
They're
just
made
assume...
by 3DO.
I think people just assume that they are like a Toy Story tie-in game. Because that's what I had thought when I was a kid, and I was like really surprised when I heard that they were not. Because Army Men were like a major like force in the first Toy Story, right? They're in that movie, right?
They're in the movie, like, not prominently, but they're in the movie. But I mean, like, Army Men, that kind of toy has been around forever.
Right, well, I mean, all the toys in Toy Story are based on real toys, but, like, I grew up with Toy Story introducing me to all those old toys, because I didn't...
Right.
Those toys were dated when I was a kid.
Playing fucking video games.
So, yeah. That is really funny that would be... Like, they probably wouldn't have even taken that into account.
Yeah.
They probably wouldn't have even thought about it. But, I wouldn't be surprised at all if that's why, like, my generation was not terribly interested for those of us who, you know, knew that tie-in games were bullshit and thought it was one. With Twitch Prime, you also get a new group of free games every month. Epic Game Store has a free game every 2 weeks. Discord Nitro gets you access to play a surprisingly large library for free. We were just talking about how we should do a video about this. The war of the distribution channels that's going on. I guess this is what you meant when you said that, because I didn't know what you were talking about, really. But yeah. Now I know. I've been briefed on the advantages. It would definitely be interesting to like investigate all of it and see what is the best value you can get out of a distribution platform.
Just so people know, the reason why I keep looking like an idiot shooting at random times is because the controller's just shooting at random times.
What?
It's either just shooting, the game's shooting by itself, or maybe I might be like leaning the... Do you ever have the problem with the PS3 controllers? Sometimes you'd relax your hands and just play, and eventually you'd accidentally squeeze these triggers.
I feel like that happened
something
to me
would happen.
at least once.
I think it's happening right now.
Did you know the Time Splitters and Second Sight rights were bought by THQ Nordic? Yes, that was part of my original research on those games. Real talk, I got a PS2 in like 2007 so I could play Larry Boy and the Bad Apple. I was a big ass VeggieTales mark. What the fuck? Excellent. I gotta ask Devu if he knows about that shit. He knows his VeggieTales, having grown up a Christian boy.
I guess I'm not for some reason. God. Oh, guy's back here too. Why is everybody mad at me? What did I do?
Oh, you're just not allowed to go in there, I think.
Not allowed to go in there in a Deus Ex game. I don't think that's right.
I mean, you can do it if you can kill all those guys. But
no, I'm gonna do it. That is the rule. Damn, these loads are brutal. Ohio was out.
Bobby Joe Brown says, Tom Oliver, play Dark Souls, it's good, you pleb.
Never. There's no such thing as good video games.
Is a Time Splitter review coming? I know I didn't watch you play Future Perfect. No, I kind of gave up on that because I didn't really like any of them that much. Same reason I gave up on Tenchu Retrospective. They were too frustrating, and I was like, you know what? None of them were good. So why am I talking about it?
Eat more Praxis.
Do you think they will remaster Time Splitters game for the modern age? I don't know about remastering it. I think they might try to do like a... They're either going to try to do like a Doom 2016 to it and like modernize it, which I don't think would... I don't know how much people give a shit about the IP of Time Splitters as compared to Doom to make that worth it. Or they're going to make like a throwback game that plays like old Time Splitters but like updated and fucking... But I mean, it's THQ, so they're like a pretty big publisher. Maybe they're going to make something like Deus Ex Human Revolution. I mean, didn't THQ make this?
No, Eidos
Oh, Eidos, right.
I don't know why they keep getting angry with me. I didn't even go over there that time. Guess I'm just gonna have to kill all those fucks for real.
The controller thing is because I think Microsoft copyrighted springed triggers so you can rest your fingers on them. Nintendo and Sony have one on the D-pad, so Microsoft has to be all connected instead of separate buttons. Holy shit. Did not know that.
Yeah.
That's fucking nuts. It's really funny that that's why the D-pad is so shitty on the Xbox. And the triggers are so good. But that's what made it a... I think that at the end of the day, that is literally why Xbox was the preferred shooter console. Is because the triggers were so fucking springy.
Yeah.
Because like that one normie dude I argued with at work that time, his whole argument against the PS3 was that it had a bitch controller, whereas the Xbox had a man controller. And I don't think he knew what the fuck he was talking about, but I think I know what the fuck he was talking about now. I'll have to go back and apologize for calling him a hater.
He probably was a hater.
He
Just
was
circumstantial.
He was, but he like got. Okay, I called this dude a hater, and he was like so taken aback and like hurt by it that the next day he came and like was like, "Yo, man, like, I'm sorry if it seems like a aggressive. It's just like it's fun to argue and like compare your favorites like the sports teams. I was just like, all right, man, whatever. Like, I guess calling you a hater was like the worst kind of insult to him. Like, I hurt his fucking personal pride. What a fucking honest guy. Did you guys play the newer Deus Ex title?
Mankind Divided, yes.
I have not, because I never beat this one. I got halfway into this. I got up to the Tokyo part, and then
just they're in Hengsha, China. Okay,
didn't get around
just
it
because they're Asian.
Oh, I don't even know why I said Tokyo, because I meant Hong Kong, and it's not even Hong Kong, is it?
Yeah, it's Hengsha.
Well,
I don't think it's a real place. I think it's made up place.
Well, it's probably based on Hong Kong.
Sure.
Since Hong Kong is like the cyberpunk capital.
They run terror of me, as they should. I just don't have anything to do. I just want to go rob places and I can't.
Pancakes with Cracker says, Digi, I feel you. I hate trees too, coming in our faces every year and leaving their shit everywhere.
Preach.
Will Friday streams ever come back? If I guess if this becomes more lucrative, then probably yes. I mean, this was a pretty lucrative stream, I would say. We must have made at least like $30 in this stream off of subscriptions. So, I mean, absence makes the heart grow fonder, I suppose. and breaks mean you have more energy and things to say than usual. But like, doing 3 in a week is just like, it leaves us with too little to say. It stretches us too thin for the amount of like, work involved. And but if the audience was like mega huge and every single stream was like a hype event, it would be different, Sarah Chris asks, is it good like this one? I assume he means Deus Ex 2.
What was it?
The sequel to this game, is it good like this one?
Yeah, it's not as good, but it's still pretty cool.
It definitely has much nicer graphics than this one.
Yeah.
This one has aged relatively poorly. I mean, I know we're playing through the component cable, but this area doesn't look fully textured.
If I want to try it.
Wise to choose the man with the gun first.
They all gonna have guns.
Yeah, but his is like out. Hell yeah.
I'm just going full RoboCop. I'm just going around destroying people.
Here's a Veil keeps asking me if I've gotten around to paying my taxes. I don't know why you want to know that, though, which is why I don't want to answer. Digi Super Meat Boy is free and DRM free on Epic Game Store if you don't own it yet. Of course I own it. How the hell do you think I played it? I bought Super Meat Boy in the first Humble Indie Bundle. Back when it was like not something we knew was going to just be like a monthly thing, where now like nobody cares anymore because you have so many fucking indie games, and like the original was like the indie game, the movie indie games, Gonksa1 says, Deus Ex Mankind Divided has the same look into transhumanism as David Cage's Detroit, so the story's pretty bad. How do you feel about that?
I didn't hear the question. I heard something David Cage.
He said, Mankind Divided has the same look into transhumanism as David Cage's Detroit, so the story's pretty bad.
I have no idea what Detroit's about, so I can't argue the validity of that statement.
Says, what did you think of its take on transhumanism, and did you think the story was bad?
It's not as good as this game. The whole game is fucking weird. Like, this game seems like it has very good understanding of what it wants to be. Mankind Divided was more divided. It just had a much more generic sort of look. The graphics were better, but visually it lost kind of some of its identity.
Tom, the reality is people there were some comments on your Doom video that were like, the beginning sounded like an IGN review. And the reality is that you just talk like an IGN review. It's just your naturalistic voice. You don't have to force that.
I don't know what that even means.
You just say like cheeky reviewer things like, Mankind Divided was more, well, divided, you know? Yeah. Like, it's exactly what, like, a reviewer would write.
Why don't I have IGN views then?
That's what I'm always wondering. People are like, oh, it sounded like an IGN review. And I'm like, is that a bad thing? Those get fucking lots of views. Clearly people use IGN.
Capitalistic enterprise. We want to be as IGN as possible.
Yeah,
that's why we're going to start ripping off other people's reviews.
I like regular ass reviews. Like I might be more into like writing analysis, but like well-written consumer reviews are still good, you know?
Dude, this sucks. We're too...
Stop trying to go into this area. Why are you trying to do this?
Because it's fun.
You don't have to do this. You can come back here when you're stronger.
I know, but dude, I just want to fucking jump down there with...
I remember myself, like, in this game being, like, kind of perturbed that there were areas that I couldn't go into early on effectively because, like, I wanted to do everything before I moved on to the next part.
Right.
But then eventually I was just like, I can't fucking do this. But, like, I think... And I remember being, like, really afraid because when I went to the China section, like, I wasn't sure if I had done everything back in the original town, and like I think that was kind of what made me like put down the controller, was that I was like, I still want to go back and finish up whatever I hadn't done yet, and I wasn't sure if I would be able to eventually. Like, do you get to come back at any point?
You come back to both locations twice. So.
Okay, so you can't do everything.
Yeah.
Or is there anything that like you can't do like the second time?
I don't know if it's only in the second... I know in the second game there are a couple instances where if you go to the next part of the story, and it'll warn you before it does it, but it's like, you know, all side quests will have to be forfeit that aren't done yet. Do you want to leave? Yes or no?
I mean, I would just go... I would be happy for that. Like, as long as they're giving me a warning, that's fine, you know? In this game, there was no warning, that I remember anyway. And I was like, fuck, am I going to be able to go back? And I just, like, I ran around the China area for a while because it looked really cool. And so I just, like, kind of explored it, but I didn't really do anything.
There's a lot of cool stuff to do there.
Hunter in a Box says, if you want to be IGN, you got to give low scores for arbitrary reasons like too much water or too much reading.
Too much Dark Souls. 6 out of 10.
You got that neural hub yet?
Gotta hate Japanese games for little to no reason.
Inside a police station. It's gonna take time.
We got like 2 bits from Funny Bunny 581, who I guess just wanted to be first on the leaderboard since there was nobody on it. Sarah Chris said, this game made me feel like Major Kusanagi. I fucking loved it. If only they had the balls to make the main character a hot chick.
Are we done? I'm done.
Yeah, we can be done as soon as you want.
I'm like getting a migraine, so I'm done. I'm done.
Alright, everybody.
Was...
Remember to be the games you want to see.
Do it.
Tune in on next Tuesday. We'll either be playing this or some indie games. We're talking about the possibility of trying to tackle indies as a thing on the channel. Maybe our next attempted avenue of our next Ed and Eddie scheme for the Jawbreaker of a big video. So, yeah.
I don't like this guy. Now he's dead.
Oh, my fucking wretched corpse. I need more of Tom's weed.
What have I done?